Good evening. From a business standpoint, it may be the worst time ever to open a gigantic new hotel in Las Vegas.
But Steve Wynn is a gambler. We know that. He's never let long odds hold him back. And the doors to his newest project opened to the public just a short time ago. News 3's Steve Krupe is live with some early reviews of Encore. And Steve, for some, it was a longer than expected wait.
You bet. It was quite a crowd out here. A lot of folks braved this chilly weather and stood in line. Now, 8 o'clock was the time when that big Encore marquee up there finally announced, "We're open." But it didn't necessarily go all that smoothly. That's because the casino was already filled with all sorts of invited guests and VIPs that were there for a private party that began earlier in the evening. That meant only batches of 20 people at a time were being allowed in because the place was just too crowded. And that meant even some of these folks who made it up to the front door were literally turned away. So tell me what happened.
Well, we waited online. We came nice and early like everyone else. They let you up in groups of 20. We were the third group of 20. And then they said, sorry, we're at capacity. Can't come in now for about 2 hours.
So things did eventually get a little bit better as that bottleneck dissipated. Now, there's still quite a crowd, though, and still people waiting to get into the hotel. People who parked in the garage tonight are still having to go in those small batches of 20. And we'll show you the additional video we shot today. It's still quite a scene out here, a lot of folks. But again, not a typical Las Vegas grand opening. No fireworks, no red carpet, no crush of people storming to get to the slot machines inside. And that's sort of in keeping with the whole concept of this hotel. The event here has been a more civilized, intimate affair, and the folks who came out there with their souvenirs and their photos from inside gave us their reviews, and they tell us they were generally very impressed. You guys made it inside.
We sure did.
What's it like?
It's beautiful. It's all red and butterflies. Lots of people milling around. They all dressed up. We felt underdressed.
Steve Wynn is also responsible for things like the Mirage, Treasure Island, Bellagio. How does it compare?
I think this one tops it.
Really nice. Yeah, really beautiful.
I think one word you just described is very red.
Yeah. That's the main color scheme.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice shopping, nice shoes. Look, they have butterfly carpets. It's butterflies everywhere.
Yes, indeed. She's not kidding about that butterfly theme. As you walk around, the mosaic tiles on the floor have butterflies. There's butterflies on the wall, butterflies on the ceiling, and chandeliers. Butterfly Central inside Encore. We really wanted to show you a lot more in terms of video from inside, but they're not allowing our cameras in. That's because they want to maintain a sense of secrecy about the whole thing and entice people to come down and check it out for themselves. Live on the Strip, I'm Steve Krupe. Jim, back to you.
Kind of the same situation we saw when the Wynn opened, Steve. They weren't letting people in there beforehand either.
That's right, and it's just been a policy that Steve Wynn has had that he wants to really maintain a tight lid when it comes to publicity.
All right, Steve, thank you for the early reviews there. Those people had reason to feel welcome down there tonight. There was a big full-page ad in the RJ today saying place opens at 8, come on down. Steve Wynn is teaming up with Danny Gans for a show at Encore. That show is scheduled to open in February.
Encore is just part of the changing landscape on the Las Vegas Strip. North of the Circus Fontainebleau is on track to open next fall. The $2.9 billion project will create 6,000 new jobs. A couple of miles south, financing delays have stalled work to begin the new Plaza Resort. The $5 billion project is inspired by the famous hotel in New York City. Construction for Echelon, the multi-billion-dollar project by Boyd Gaming, was halted in August. Located where the Stardust used to stand, it might not open until 2010.
And there is one project that blows all of those away, everything we've talked about so far, and it's full steam ahead for City Center. More importantly, in these times, that means new jobs. 12,000 people will be working at City Center when it opens next year on the Strip. Applications will be accepted online starting January 5th. To find out more about City Center and the job selection process, you can go to KVBC.com.